NFL Weekly Pick'em Show on the Grilling Truth Network. We are at Championship Weekend, and remember, the Grilling Truth is powered by Betting.net. Betting.net is your best bet for finding the online casino or sportsbook that's right for you. Make sure you check them out at Betting.net. I am your co-host for the NFL Pick'em Show, Mike Goodpaster. I want to welcome in 1981 national champion, member of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. And now what happened to your Colts sweatshirt, Steve? It's all gone. Help me welcome Steve Risley.
All my Colts paraphernalia has been retired for the season. It is long gone, about like our quarterback, hopefully. So, hopefully he'll be long gone too. But yep, I'm a converted. I told you I was always a Bengals fan until the Colts moved into town, came to Indianapolis, and I'll just revert back to being a Bengals fan now if the Colts aren't playing. You need to move these little bars here. Yeah, you can't see your jersey.
In a jersey.
Oh, look who makes it today.
Dan Kornhauser's here too, and with Dan, it's kind of like babysitting when we have him on the show. I mean, he must not have known that we were doing this today at 9:30. And Joseph Michael says, Steve wearing a Bengals shirt. I like it. So
there you go.
What's up, Dan?
Hey, guys.
Conference championships, baby.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Detroit Lions against... No, I'm kidding.
Can't you at least turn that hat somewhere, some sideways or something?
We will never be talking about the Lions.
Oh, look at this. Dan's like 12 years old because he's got the flat build hat, which those are stupid.
Oh, I know.
You're stupid.
So? I'm smarter than you. I don't have a flat build hat.
I tell you, it's crazy out here because the Dodgers have some of the coolest baseball caps, but they're all flat build. It's like, no. I'm not going to wear a flat build cap.
You're also like 60, so you wouldn't want to.
Nobody would want to. All right, divisional playoff weekend, which just passed. It made up for the wild card weekend. Dan, what was your biggest takeaways from the divisional playoffs?
My biggest takeaway is Kansas City is the team to beat right now. Cincinnati looks legit. Joe Burrow belongs. Green Bay wasn't quite right, and San Francisco is the most physical team left, and that's saying something.
Not really, because I don't think you would call the Bengals or Chiefs physical teams. I think you could call the Rams a physical team up to a point. Mm-hmm. And I would like to bring up, since you give him crap all the time, Jimmy Garoppolo is one win away from his second Super Bowl in just 3 years.
And he hasn't done anything to contribute in the last
That is absolutely stupid. So, I mean, to get to the playoffs, they had to beat the Rams. They're down 17-0 at SoFi. And Jimmy Garoppolo played really well just to make the playoffs.
Oh, no, I said the last couple of weeks.
The last couple of weeks. Well, he won the games. So
what?
I know, it doesn't matter.
He's
doesn't matter. Yeah, he's ass. You're an ass. Your face looks like an ass, Dan. All right, Steve, what was your biggest takeaways from the divisional playoff weekend?
Before I get to my takeaway, Danny, do you want to cover our little poll or our pool and the standings for everything?
Yeah, so we all
Dan finish last again this week?
No, he actually finished first.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Steve and I picked Kansas City. Good there. Sorry, Mike. We all picked Tampa Bay. We were terribly wrong. We all picked Green Bay. We were terribly wrong. And we all picked Cincinnati, and we were good there. So I had 2 right. Steve had 2 right. And unfortunately, Mike, you had 1.
Yeah, it happens. So Steve's up by 2, so this is over with. But it doesn't really matter to me because Steve's wearing
now the only thing I'm going to say to that, Dan, is how long did he brag and say he's never been beaten in this pool?
I've heard it all season.
There's all 3 games left.
We heard now.
Wait a second.
He will. When I led about half the season,
there's 3 games
he
left.
said, "It's no big deal. I'll come and get you." I have never lost this pool to anybody.
And
he calls me the imbecile.
I never called you an imbecile. I called Dan an imbecile. I never talk crap to you anymore. I just direct it all at Dan.
And I can effectively end this whole thing tonight.
Congratulations, Steve.
You could, but there's no games played till Sunday.
No, but the picks were made tonight.
Well done, Steve. You're a champ. You're a champ,
Steve,
buddy.
what was your divisional playoff weekend
My divisional playoff takeaway was, ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 new sheriffs in town, and they have come to bring law and justice to the NFL. I think that clearly the 3 quarterbacks, Mahomes, Joe, and
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen just established themselves now as the 3 dominant quarterbacks in the NFL. Brady looked like, Tom Brady, but he didn't have it. And Rodgers looked like a lot of people say about Rodgers. He didn't have it, but these 3 kids all stepped up the plate. And while, unfortunately, one of them had to lose, he didn't give the game away.
No, his defensive coordinator gave it away.
Yeah, he fought to the last play of the game to not lose that game. But I think the big message for me is get back, strap in, ladies and gentlemen, because we have seen 3 new careers come online. They're going to dominate this league for the next 10 to 15 years, barring they stay healthy.
Yeah, and the scary thing is the NFC, all the great quarterbacks are at the end of their careers.
Yeah, the AFC is where these guys are all lodged.
Yeah, and you've still got guys like who I don't think are on that level yet, guys like Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, if they can get things fixed in Baltimore for him. So
Carson Wentz.
Nobody said Carson Wentz. But yeah, those 5 guys. You all right, Dan? Dan hadn't choked like that since he went to the prom.
I was going to say, since prom night. God damn.
I know. Hey, we're not allowed to use the Lord's name in vain, remember?
The scary part? Here's the scary part, Mike. Give him about 2 years, and through attrition, Jared Goff may be the best quarterback in the NFC.
He might be.
Through attrition.
Yeah.
It would be totally through attrition.
So
but he may just inherit it.
Let's talk about Buffalo and Kansas City. How, with 13 seconds left in 3 timeouts, I hear a lot of people, Dan, talk about, well, they should have kicked it short. The problem with that is you could down it right away, no time's running off. My problem is you can't play a soft cover 2 against guys like Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce with 3 timeouts in 13 seconds. My point is this. You could jam them off the line, hold the hell out of them, have a flag called, move it 5 yards, and there's 7 seconds left. Do it again, and they're on their own 40 with a second or 2 left. To me, the way they play defense here, Leslie Frazier should have been fired for that.
Well, they played it wrong. They played it like Kansas City didn't have all their timeouts. They were too busy guarding the sidelines and leaving the middle of the field wide open. It made absolutely no sense.
Well, they were given free release, which made no sense. And the other thing is this. I would have blitzed them just because if you make Mahomes move from the pocket a little bit, you're going to eat an extra 4 or 5 seconds up just like that. So I think Buffalo, the coaching staff there should probably be questioned a lot, Steve.
I would agree with you. Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing as letting a guy dribble down to the 3-point shot in basketball rather than just chop a foul on him right as soon as he crosses half court, give him the 2 free throws and get the possession of the ball back. You and I had this discussion right after the games, and you brought this up, and I thought, I didn't even think about it. So I think these guys get caught up in the moment. They don't slow down, maybe because they're not as effective of coaches as we think they should be. This 2-minute life span in the NFL is what wins games and wins championships for these guys. And certainly the Buffalo defense on their 2-minute drill defensively failed. They did not. I think the multitude of everything you said, kick it short, make them run 1 second off. If they catch it, the clock starts. Okay, it starts right then, and then if it stops, hopefully you get 1 tick off of it. Then, like you said, geez, you get 5 yards off the line, bump them, knock them down, take the 5-yard penalty, and run 4 seconds off. Like you said, I'm not going to repeat you, but
yeah, it's just like this in high school football. If your DB gets beat, I teach my DB, tackle the wide receiver because it's a 10-yard penalty. I mean, why give up a big play there? I mean, it made no sense. And when we look at the Rams and the Buccaneers, I mean, Matt Stafford did everything he could to win that game, and the rest of his team did everything they could to lose that game. You had Cam Akers with 2 fumbles, Cooper Kupp with a fumble, even though he played a great game. You had the 49ers, Packers. Dan is what Aaron Rodgers is in the playoffs. He's now lost 4 home playoff games at Lambeau Field.
Yeah, and it sucks because Rodgers is, in talent alone, just one of the top 5 quarterbacks in NFL history. And unfortunately, talent isn't what people remember at the end of the day. They'll remember, he could put the ball wherever he wants. He could make every throw from any angle in any way possible you can think of. Rodgers can do it. He's done it, and it's been magic. But he's only got 1 Super Bowl. And he's, like you said, he keeps losing in the playoffs.
He's only been to the Super Bowl 1 time, correct?
Yeah.
So he's only made 1 appearance in the Super Bowl.
10 or 11 years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of that's
that's
the
the
coaches
thing.
are.
10 or 11 years ago.
It's ugly.
I think Rodgers has peaked on his prime. I think he is not going to have the staying power that Brady has. This has got to be a blow to him badly to not be able to advance and move on into the divisional championships. So, tough call. He's got to make some real decisions. It doesn't sound like Green Bay wants to keep him. Doesn't sound like he wants to stay in Green Bay. I keep seeing artsy-fartsy pictures of him in a Colts
I can tell you this. The rumor I saw
today. That scares the crap out of me.
The rumor I saw today, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. Did you see this, Dan, where they're saying Denver's going to trade for Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams?
I saw that. And
that'd be a hell of a move for them.
According to what they got to give up.
Yeah, exactly. But if they want a 1-year shot at it, it's worth it. It's worth it.
But
you've harped on Denver being solid.
But is it? I mean, but the problem is this. I mean, is it worth the 1-year shot that if you don't hit it, you just screwed your team up for 3 to 5 years? And the other fact is, you've still got Burrow, Mahomes, and Allen, who have all 3 showed that they can play in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
The AFC is a gauntlet, but if you're Denver,
I don't think. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, if you're Denver and you're weighing the risk reward here, I mean, you've been dealing with Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, and they've just had bad quarterback play over the last few years. It just hasn't been quite right. And they're a good team otherwise. Maybe the new regime comes in and says, hey, you know what? Yeah, let's trade our first-round picks. Let's pull an LA Rams. Let's trade picks. Let's get these 2 studs. Let's get some other veteran players. And let's go for it. Win a chip this year or win a chip next year. But the AFC is a gauntlet. It's going to be rough.
Well, yeah, Dan, and what I was going to tie on to yours right there is, does he really want to go to the AFC West? Mm-hmm. Well, they've already got Herbert and Mahomes already in there. Huh? And who?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. Yeah, look, you got 3 solid NFL quarterbacks right there. Yeah. One of them's in our top, our bound to be a superstar list, and 2 others that are going to be deal makers. They're going to get their days. The other 2 guys. Then you put Rodgers in. Does he really want to go into that grouping of quarterbacks or go somewhere like well, you don't even want to go where Burrows is anymore. Go to the AFC South where really, you're looking at Tannehill and Wentz and possibly the kid down Lawrence.
Well, how about this? What if Tom Brady retires? Could we see him go to Tampa Bay?
Nah,
I don't think so.
No way.
Why not? You got a built-in Super Bowl team there with the right quarterback.
No, it's not, because they got a bunch of free agents. They're going to have to figure out what they're doing with Gronk, with JPP.
Gronk said he wants to stay. He wants to stay in Tampa Bay.
Godwin, Lenny Fournette. They got a bunch of free agents they're going to have to contend with, and besides the quarterback position. And Rodgers isn't going to play coattail to Brady. Rodgers is
how about this?
A-hole. He's not going to want to.
He's not going to want to risk going there and not winning a Super Bowl.
And that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what'll kill him.
Yep.
If he goes there and doesn't win one, then he will be labeled a failure.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't go on Brady's team and take it over and run it.
All right, we're going to talk quarterbacks, so we're going to go talk about the Bengals and Titans. And the difference in that game was Ryan Tannehill as opposed to Joe Burrow. I mean, you can't start a playoff game at home where you're the favorite by throwing an interception. And then he ended the game with 20 seconds left by throwing another interception. And he also had one where they were driving up 16-6 and throws a pick. So it's two things to me that stick out here. If you're ever going to win a Super Bowl, Ryan Tannehill's probably not the guy for you. And on top of that, this Bengals defense, from watching them the first 2 weeks of the playoffs and the game against Kansas City where they held the Chiefs to 3 points in the second half, the Bengals defense is better than advertised.
Yeah, they kept coming up with big plays in that game. And I'll tell you what, I got to give props to the Bengals because they played through a lot of adversity. Their offense couldn't move the ball. They had to settle for a bunch of field goals. Their quarterback was getting just abused. 9 sacks.
9 sacks?
So
it's unheard of for an NFL team to win a game in the NFL with your quarterback getting sacked 9 times. I mean, that's phenomenal. That's a testament to Cincinnati's art of their players and to Burrow, and just shrugging it off, letting it drip right off his shoulders, and never got up and complained to any of his players, never got up and hung his head or shook his head walking off the field. Mm-hmm. You know, he just went, got his pad out, looked at what he's got to do next time out. I mean, just the maturity he showed during those 9 sacks was just phenomenal.
And Tennessee is only the second team in NFL history to lose a playoff game when getting 9 sacks in a game.
Who was the other one?
That's not the dark side of history that you want to be on. I'll tell you that right now.
Who was the other one?
That I don't know. I didn't write that down.
Ah, damn.
But was it the team that played at Tennessee? Because McNair was the other quarterback who'd been sacked 8 times.
No, it was Donovan McNabb who was sacked 8 times.
It was McNabb.
Yeah. Steve McNair was a stud. All right.
Well, McNabb would have been with Philadelphia.
All right, so we're going to break these games down. We're going to start off with the first game of the day at 3 o'clock, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. I almost laugh when I say it, for the AFC Championship. Still blows my mind as a Bengals fan that this is happening right now. I figured it would happen. I just thought it'd be a couple years away. When we look at the national press, nobody really gives the Bengals a shot here, Dan. But then again, nobody ever gave the Bengals a shot coming into the season to finish better than 4th place in the AFC North. Do the Bengals have a shot here?
They absolutely have a shot. But I don't think they're going to win this game. I think this line is disrespectful. -7. They're playing on – this is a line that I would have expected to see at the beginning of the season when we didn't know any better, when we thought Kansas City's offense was just going to be high-flying. We thought Cincinnati was just going to be underachieving, not quite right. This is like a September line, Kansas City -7. Cincinnati beat this team, okay? They beat
27 days ago.
Yeah, they beat this team in Week 17, 34-31.
They were down. They were down by 14 points on 3 different occasions.
They were down. Chase lit them up, had 11 catches for 266 and 3 touchdowns. Kansas City's blitz was awful. All they did was blitz Burrow, and all he did was carve him up. Hill and Kelsey did nothing in that game. They combined for 11 receptions, 65 yards, and a touchdown. And Cincinnati won. And I think this line is disrespectful. I think this line is based off of what Kansas City has done in the playoffs thus far and what Mahomes just did against the Bills, which, I mean, that game's going to stick out in our minds for years. And it might be something I tell my grandkids about is, hey, you know what? Grandpa saw, Pat Mahomes versus Josh Allen, and it was the greatest game I've ever seen. And I could still be talking about this game in 30 years and how special it was. But this line is disrespectful. Cincinnati's a good football team, and I think it's going to be a lot closer than maybe Vegas is giving them credit for. But, I've said that before. I've said stuff like that where, I don't know what they're doing with this line. I don't know why it's this number, blah, blah, blah. Just to look like a fool because, they know what they're doing and they know what they were talking about, and that's what it was. But I don't think that's the case here. While I don't think Cincinnati's going to win, I don't think Kansas City's going to win by 7.
All right, Dan or Steve, what's your first impressions of this game?
Exactly what Dan said. It's disrespectful to the Bengals. This is a tough game because it doesn't matter about point spreads in the game. I I think that if the spread was more like 1.5 to 3 points, somewhere in there, it'd be a little bit more respectful and a little bit more true to what's going on. But I think that Bengals cover this spread easily. I don't think it's going to be a 7-point win for Kansas City, regardless of what happened 27 days ago. I just think Burrows is probably playing the best quarterback of anybody right now in the NFL. And I don't see any backing off of that. The guy's fearless. He's a rookie. He's going into this with no pains ever suffered. And he's just going to play like he played against Tennessee, just with fearless, reckless abandon. Not reckless abandon, with abandon, but he's under control entirely. So the call here is, if you're betting money, you got to bet spread. If you're picking the winner of the game, you got to pick the winner of the game. And I think those are possibly right now two different teams. Possibly. I don't know. When you get to a 3-point game, anything's possible. Bengals proved that last game.
I think my opinion of this is, if the Chiefs run the ball with Clyde Edwards-Helaire 25 times, 20 times, they would win the game. Andy Reid's MO is he doesn't, though. He throws the ball. He wants to throw the ball. I think the big guy that's being overlooked in this entire game is Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's the best running back on the field. Joe Mixon, had some success against Kansas City before. The other thing is, you've got Fenton and Matthew. Matthew's in concussion protocol. I assume he's going to play. You got Fenton's injured. These guys played last time, and the Bengals lit them up. I think it's highly disrespectful the way the Bengals are being treated. If you look at the guys in the conference championship, the NFC teams, the Bengals lost to the Packers in overtime by 3 points. And the Bengals lost to the 49ers in overtime by 3 or 4 points. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs by 3 points. I mean, when you look at this, I think the 4 best teams in the NFL are in these games. I think people sleep on the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo is capable of screwing this whole thing up in the NFC side, but he's also capable of coming out playing his butt off and winning the game. And when I look at this, Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes. I said that 2 months ago, and Dan is just a dumbass who's going to shake his head. I'd hate to tell you
it's the worst
Dan,
take I've ever heard.
You know what? Why is it the worst take you've ever heard? Because Patrick Mahomes was nowhere near this good a year and a half into his career. Agreed?
Actually, you're wrong.
I'm not, dumbass.
You're actually
tell
wrong.
me his rookie stats.
I'm not okay. You want to know his rookie stats? He didn't play his rookie year.
Exactly. So tell me his stats halfway through his second year, because that's what we're comparing.
So his first year,
he hadn't won a playoff game.
His first year as a starter, actually.
Wait a second. He wasn't good enough to be the starter. Alex Smith was, because they had to get Patrick Mahomes ready to be a starter. So you're going to sit there and tell me it's the worst take ever. But Joe Burrow was ready to play on day one, and he was the best rookie quarterback in the NFL last year. He had better numbers than Justin Herbert until he got hurt. It's the only reason he didn't win the award. So my take here is, Joe Burrow at this point in his career is better than Patrick Mahomes. And my point is this: 5 years from now, he'll be better because he's better. He reads a defense better. He sees things. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. I think Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes are by far the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL. But I think when you sit here and you watch a guy who's playing in a playoff game, and he started maybe 25, 26 games, we saw what Aaron Rodgers looked like. Now, Joe Burrow has played both playoff games. The interception he threw wasn't his fault. It smacks right off his running back's hands. He's not making stupid mistakes, and he sees things. And, that is the best take I can give you. There's very few quarterbacks that see things. He sees things that nobody else sees. You can shake your head no, but you're also the man who sat here and trashed Jimmy Garoppolo and said the 49ers weren't a Super Bowl contender because of Jimmy Garoppolo, when in about week 8, me and Steve both agreed that they could make a run and go to the Super Bowl. So you can sit here. That, to me, was the worst take ever, just to bullshit and shit all over Jimmy G. Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Mike, I'm about to hit you with so much fact you won't be able to
You
comprehend.
can't hit me with hit me with fat from looking at you, but not fact.
But here's what I'm going to need to do. I'm going to hit you with these facts,
That
but
was
I'm going to need you to
rude.
not
I'm sorry.
interrupt me and not call me stupid.
Well, that probably can't happen. Well, you called me stupid. I was giving my take, and you said that's the worst take I've ever heard. You interrupted me.
I didn't call you stupid, though. But listen, all right.
You said it was the stupidest take you've ever heard.
You want to know?
Look at that. You're rattled. Your body language is showing you're rattled.
You want to know what Patrick Mahomes did in his first year as a starter? I'm glad
he went to the AFC Championship and he lost.
I'm glad you asked because I actually have the comparison.
I didn't ask you what he did in his first year as a starter. I asked you what he did his first year, and he was not a starter. He also went to a team that Alex Smith had taken to the AFC Divisional Playoffs the year before. Joe Burrow came into a situation where the team had won 2 games.
Now, I'm not saying what Joe Burrow's done in Cincinnati in his short time in Cincinnati is not impressive, because it is. To say otherwise is foolish. I'm not saying anything negative about Burrow. You're right. As of right now, this season, he has been one of the top 3 to 4 quarterbacks in the league. No questions asked at all, okay? I'm not going to argue with that at all at this point. But I am going to say that him being better than Mahomes right now, in my opinion, is a terrible take, because when you look at what Mahomes has done in his first year as a starter, the man was the MVP, the offensive player of the year, a first team All-Pro, took his team to the conference championship. His first year as a starter, he went 12-4 and threw 50 touchdowns to only 12 interceptions.
With a team that was ready-made to go to the Super Bowl.
Fine. He was also 23 years old at that time, whereas Joe Burrow last year was 24 as a rookie. So my man was 22 as a rookie, Joe Burrow 24.
What the hell does that matter? A rookie is a rookie. And usually in the NFL, they are less likely to pick a guy that's older.
So the age difference is something to consider. And then you look at the second year as a starter. I think you're just looking at what Mahomes did this year and how it wasn't quite what we've expected from what we've seen his first 3 years as a starter. But this man in his second year, Mahomes won a Super Bowl, was a Super Bowl MVP. And I mean, I don't know what you watch every Bengals game, and you know quarterbacks, and you study the game. You've gotten more years in this game.
Put it like this. I can show you the YouTube video I made when he was at LSU and he was not a Cincinnati Bengal, and I said he would be the best quarterback to ever play the game.
Oh, I'm not saying it's bias. I'm not saying you're saying, oh, he's the best because you're a Bengals fan. No, you legitimately believe it, and you have reasons behind it. I'm just saying everything's Mahomes done thus far. 4 straight AFC championships, 2 Super Bowls, 1 win. He's already got an MVP, got it his first year as a starter. To say what Burrow's done is better is just incorrect.
Okay, well, I will give you this.
What Mahomes has done and all the winning he's done.
He came to a team that was ready to win.
That's not his fault.
But the point is this. Put it like this. If you put Patrick Mahomes as a rookie in Cincinnati last year, he would be nothing. Because it was the situation of being with Andy Reid, having Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce from the get-go. Jamar Chase wasn't in Cincinnati last year. The defense wasn't in Cincinnati last year. The Bengals were a 2-win football team the year before he got there. Now, here's my other thing. His second year, he's coming off a torn ACL that he tore last November. He starts game 1, and they protect him for about 10 weeks until they turn him loose so he's comfortable. A lot of guys, Carson Palmer, had definite issues after a torn ACL, and this guy doesn't. And I'm telling you this, I think Patrick Mahomes is an all-time great quarterback. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Joe Burrow will be better. I'm not saying he's going to win more Super Bowls, because situations have a lot to do with that. But he will win a Super Bowl.
Well, Mike, what are you doing? Are you speculating where people are going to end up, or talking about right now?
No, I'm speculating right now. When I watch him play.
Well, right now, Mahomes has put his team in the Super Bowl the last 2 years running.
Don't care.
He's won one of them.
Don't care.
Burrows hasn't gotten to the Super Bowl yet.
Cam Newton got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I will give you the fact, Mike. Hang on. I will give you the fact. Burrows is playing the best quarterback of any of the 3 right now. I said that earlier, and I stand by that statement.
I don't believe that. I believe Josh Allen is playing the best quarterback
and say
right
that
now.
he is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. I think you're being a little homer.
Well, I think you're a
homer
dumbass
effect going
because
on.
there is no way I'm homering this. It's what I said when he was at LSU.
You are homering it.
I'm not. Look at what I wrote and look at what I said when he was at LSU. He wasn't a Bengal then.
Put the Bengals in the Super Bowl 2 years and win one and get even with Mahomes, and then we'll start making lifelong comparisons.
But this is his first year. He's got next year too. Plus, he's going to play Mahomes
first
in
year.
Kansas
He sat
City.
one out because of an injury. It's the second year.
He played 8 or 9 games.
What's annoying for me? What's annoying for me is when
didn't win any awards or anything.
We quit interrupting Dan so you can say something mean to me.
When I shit on Garoppolo,
Mike Woodson, hang on. Mike Woodson came back his senior year in the Big Ten, played 6 games in the Big Ten, and won the Big Ten MVP Player of the Year. All coming off of back surgery.
I don't believe that's true.
It is true. It may have been more than 6 games. Maybe.
Oh, now it may have been more than 6. It may have been.
No, it was only 7 or 8 if it was. Look it up and see how many games he played.
I am, Steve.
All right.
Now I've lost interest in what Dan was saying. I'm trying to see if Steve.
We'll get back to Dan. I'm just defending Dan. Now you're being a little harsh on Dan and being a little bit of a homer.
Yeah, I'm being a homer. He played 14 games.
And there's nothing wrong with being a homer about Joe Burrow because that's a guy you want a homer all about. But to say he's at Mahomes' level right now,
I'm telling you this: if you give me a choice between Mahomes, between Mahomes and Burrow right now to be my team's quarterback for the next 10 years,
I probably would choose Burrow too.
Well, then why is what I'm saying crazy? That's what I'm saying.
Because I'm speculating on what I think
I'm not saying he's done more. I don't think I'm not saying he has done more.
That was your intent.
No, it wasn't. My intent is he's the best quarterback in the NFL. It has nothing to do with it right now. The best quarterbacks
we're going to find out Sunday at about 1 o'clock my time. It's going to be a quarterback duel. These guys are going to duke it out. The two of them are.
I would say this.
And I have no clue which one's going to come out on top.
Steve, if you're going to go by that, we've already seen that 27 days ago. And who came out on top?
That doesn't mean crap.
Oh, it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. It's a whole different new can of worms.
But wait, you defend Peyton Manning and he loses playoff games all the time.
Peyton Manning has nothing to do with this.
But it's kind of the same thing. See, and if Bobby's watching right now, he's saying there's the spin master. Because Bobby's a dumbass. I just figured I'd bring that up. But
no, what I was gonna say before is when I shit on Jimmy, Mike likes to say, "Oh, but he wins."
Dan, did I say I was done?
He does.
Sorry, Steve.
No, go ahead, Dan. I'm done. I'm just trying to defend you a little bit, Dan.
No,
I think you're more right than wrong. Mike's more wrong than right.
I appreciate that, Steve. I do.
But hey, how can I be wrong about my opinion? It's just
I said you're more wrong than right.
No, I'm not.
You are.
Give it 5 years.
When I go in on
Jimmy, then I may not be able to say that to you in 5 years.
You won't.
I don't think I will. But this isn't 5 years.
Yeah,
but I am telling you right now, if you give me the choice between the two, I would take Joe Burrow. Actually, if you give me the choice between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, I'll take Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes would be my third choice, though.
Christ, Carson Wentz beat Josh Allen.
Carson Wentz didn't beat anybody. Jonathan Taylor ran for like 5 touchdowns in that game. They won that game because Carson Wentz didn't have to throw the damn thing. But all right,
he was 3 for 5 in that game.
Let's go 49ers.
How many games did Mike play?
He played 14.
No, he didn't. He played the last 6.
Steve. He played 14.
He did not play 14 big.
Okay.
We only played 14 games in the Big Ten.
All right. Do I have to pull this up? That's probably why he won the Big Ten MVP, because he played all 14 games, Steve.
He did not play all 14 games.
Steve, 14 games.
1980.
14 games. He averaged 35 minutes per game.
14 games total. How many Big Ten games did he play?
14.
He did not.
It says he played 14 games, Steve.
He said not 14 Big Ten games.
You said he played 6 or 7 games all year.
No, I said he played 6 or 7 Big Ten games.
Dan, did he say 6 or 7?
And then he won the Big Ten MVP, having played only 6 or 7 games.
Okay, I don't think anybody cares except for you and Mike. Maybe Mike's mom and dad. And
Well, I think
maybe
Joe
Coach
Burrow's
Mike.
dad minds.
I don't think Joe Burrow's dad cares about Mike Woodson. All right, next up, 49ers Rams, Steve. What's your
So wait,
takeaway? What's your big one from this?
Did we all take Cincinnati?
We're going to pick it after we get done.
Oh, okay.
So, 49ers Rams.
We got to hurry to show up because Dan's going to be drunk soon. Go ahead.
I think this is a game. It's going to be fun as heck to watch because of Garoppolo, and I just don't know which Garoppolo is going to show
It'll
up.
be fun or it'll be painful.
It'll be painful or it'll be fun, right?
Steve, one other thing I want to bring up to you before you continue.
Yeah.
Is betting.net's not just sports betting. Betting.net compares to best online casinos. Sit back, relax, play the top online slots, poker games, and table games at betting.net. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I think this is just good. I'm more anticipatory of this game just because of the more unknowns in this game. With both the quarterbacks, you don't know.
Wait a second. Wait, Dan, that means he's really looking forward to it. Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, no, I am. I mean, the city's nuts right now. We may even fill the stadium.
No, you won't. With 49ers fans, if it's anything like the last time.
Yeah, no, I know. They actually had a deal where all the season ticket holders out here bought all the remaining tickets on sale. So
and then
all the
they
tickets
went and sold them on StubHub.
Sold them on StubHub to San Francisco fans.
Yeah, right now the cheapest ticket for the Bengals Chiefs game is $567.
I don't think you can get in
it's
SoFi now for under $1,000.
It's because all the I'm pretty sure you can, but they said it was the highest ticket price going for scalp tickets because it's been a while for Cincinnati, so everybody's showing up. The Kansas City game last week in Tennessee,
it might be.
The low ticket was like $350, and they were charging like $300 a night in Nashville.
No, there's tickets in LA going for 4 tickets somewhere goofy. I don't know, for $10,000 a ticket, and they're going to sell.
Oh, they're doing that all over the place because Cincinnati, Kansas City, they had them for like $17,000.
Yeah.
That's just somebody throwing it up there. He says, "I'm going to the game, but if somebody will give me this."
I think you definitely here got the Rams defense against Garoppolo, and then there's nothing shabby about San Francisco's defense either. I think this is going to be a little bit lower scoring game, a defensive battle. Both quarterbacks are going to be on their game. Sacks are going to be plenty. People are going to come at them. Von Miller's been a welcome addition to the Rams for this run right now to the Super Bowl. I think in the end, the Rams pull this thing out. But if Garoppolo has one of those magical games he's capable of doing, he's not ever going to be consistent playing at that level. But if he pulls one of those games out, you're going to have a bitchin' dogfight going on in L.A. late in the afternoon out here.
Yeah, my big takeaway is what Dan said. The 49ers are the most physical team. That defensive line can get after you. I think Andrew Whitworth's getting up there in age. He's been beat up a little bit. Jimmy Garoppolo, I would say the key is, hold on, we got a comment. Joe said he got his for $175. He bought them as soon as Kansas City won the coin flip in overtime. Yeah, well, he got off a lot.
Hey, Joe, that's how I got my Bengals shirt too. The minute the Bengals won the coin flip, boom, I ordered my shirt.
That makes
and then
no
Mike
sense.
was saying they couldn't get a Bengals jersey. Did you hear that, Dan? Mike was trying to buy a Bengals jersey.
I was not trying to buy a Bengals jersey.
With somebody else's name on the back of it.
No, I wasn't. I was just telling you what they said around here. I'll give you this. I'll spend $120 on a Bengals jersey with somebody else's name on it if the Bengals beat the Chiefs. And that also brings us to the end of the show tonight where Dan will be shaving his beard, remember?
Oh, that's right. Dan, are you prepared to do that?
I am not at all prepared to do that. I would have to run upstairs and get my razor and all this craziness.
We can wait.
I think we said that in jest, though.
I don't know. Hey, Mike,
wait a second, Steve. That wasn't said in jest.
Can I give him a rain check? I don't know. I don't know that I want Dan to shave.
I do.
I'm not.
I think he'll just look like. I think if he shaves, he'll just look like 2 ass cheeks with a hat on.
I would. I'm not into making people go into life-altering moments. Singing the IU fight song is one thing.
Shaving your head's not really, or shaving your face isn't really life altering. It grows back in like a week.
Well, Mike, take your head off. Let's see what it looks like to shave your head.
I got no hair.
There you go. See? All right.
And also, you can see why I wear a hat, because when I take it off, that damn white light shines off my head and everybody gets blinded.
I don't know. Dan, if it's my vote, I'm going to give you a rain check on shaving the beard.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you.
Let's leave it up to Joseph Michael, who we know is listening. Joe, should Dan have to shave his beard?
No one wants to
Oh,
see
hell. He's already answered. He's already answered. That's the only reason I'm watching,
Joe,
Dan.
You're screwed now, Dan. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Joseph Michael. Spit it out.
Yeah.
Be truthful.
He did. He just said that that's the only reason
I'm watching, Dan. Come on. Sorry, Dan. I tried.
Yeah.
You got to go now.
Yeah. You might as well run up and get the stuff now, Dan.
Or you'll be banished to the Sheridan Report show.
Yeah,
Nice.
You have to go on the Sheridan Report.
Is that where all the bad kids go?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. San Francisco and the Rams.
Bobby's a nice
Dan.
guy.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like Mike.
No, he
But
does
then
not like
half the
Steve.
world
I
doesn't
don't
like Mike
me.
either, so that's not a big deal.
But that's what I'm looking for. If half of everybody hates me and half of everybody likes me, that means people are watching.
It's figure 50-50. You're down the middle of the road.
Good.
There you go.
But yeah, no, with this one, this is a tough game for me because these two games represent the worst possible scenario for me this season in terms of a Super Bowl matchup, because we could legitimately see the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow, Mike's top quarterback in the NFL and the guy he'd take for the next decade, versus friggin' Jimmy G and the 49ers.
I think, hey, you know what, though?
And he doesn't belong, and it would be the worst thing I ever see.
Hey, wait a second. Do you know what the highest rated Super Bowl in the history of Super Bowls is?
Which one?
Super Bowl 16, the Bengals and 49ers.
Well, yeah.
That would be Kenny Anderson against Joe Montana.
That was considered, that was the Cinderella Super Bowl, they called it, because both teams had come in last place the year before and nobody expected either one of them to be there. But still, rating-wise, not that most people watch, because there's like twice as many people in the world now as there was then, but the highest rated Super Bowl is still Super Bowl 16.
But this is tough because Shanahan and the 49ers own McVay and the Rams. It's just the way it is. Shanahan 7-3 against McVay. They've won 6 straight. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the kryptonite is that San Francisco has, that Shanahan has over his former colleague, but they just don't have an answer for San Francisco. And I mean, in week 18, San Francisco beat LA to get into the playoffs. They were down 17-0, came back, won 27-24. Jimmy G brought him back after I'd been shitting on him all year and said, if you're down 10 to 17 points and you're down, you're going to lose that game if you got Jimmy at quarterback. Well, he came back and they won. But the story wasn't just Jimmy in that game. It was how dominant their defensive line was and how great that defense has been against the Rams. And in 2 games against the Rams this year, they've got 7 sacks and 21 pressures as a team. I think they had 4 last game and had Stafford throw a pick 6. Had a couple picks in that last game. So it's ugly. It's looking a little threatening for LA. And the people who say, oh, how difficult it is to beat a team a third time, it's not. Because most times when the teams win the first 2 games, they win the third.
How about this? You know how people say it's hard to beat a team a second time, because what I keep hearing with the Bengals and Chiefs, and I looked it up today, since 2014, there's been 10 cases where teams that played in the regular season played in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The teams that won in the regular season were 8-2.
Yep.
So the majority, 80% of the time, the team that won the first time wins the second time.
That's right. And actually, another fun stat I wanted to bring up, because Mike, you keep bringing this up, and there is something to it. But in terms of home field advantage, 6 of the last 8 home teams won the NFC Championship. And 7 of the last 8 home teams won the AFC Championship. The one loss in the AFC was the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, New England.
Yeah, to New England, right.
But I will tell you this also. In the Divisional Playoffs, 3 of the 4 road teams won, and almost all 4 of them did. So I still think this. I think when you get the championship game, Usually the best team is at home, so it would make sense that they win. But I also don't read a whole lot into it because I can go over periods of time where it was the opposite in a championship game. So
Mm-hmm.
my concern here is I think the 49ers give the Rams trouble because of the way they zone block. Because you've got this big, strong defensive line, Aaron Donald, all these guys up front for the Rams. But the 49ers are a team that the way they zone block is a little bit different than most teams. So you almost never take on these guys one on one. You're actually getting angles and just kind of washing them out, if you know what I mean, and then let the running back pick where he wants to run. Because, and the other question is, what's the status on Deebo Samuel?
He is not on the injury report. Neither is Kittle. Neither is Jimmy. Pretty much the only relevant name on that list, only two relevant names, are Trent Williams, who we know he was hobbled at the end of the game last week, and he's got an ankle injury. He had black tape around his ankle in the second half and most of the game. He'll probably play. I mean, it would. I think it would have to be something extravagant, like the guy just can't walk for him not to play in this game. So I think Trent will play, but he's questionable with an ankle. And Elijah Mitchell, their running back, is also questionable with a knee injury. He might not actually play. I don't think it'll matter.
Yeah, 49ers can plug in running backs because of the way their offensive line blocks that zone. It makes it really easy. I mean, hell, it seemed like for the last every year Shanahan's been there. It doesn't matter who the running back is. The guy's running for 1,000 yards no matter what. The next guy's running for 800. So,
yeah, all right. Plug and play.
We got to pick the games. Steve, Bengals, Chiefs, Chiefs -7.
God, I hate that -7.
It's really not that much. It's only a touchdown, Steve. Damn.
Yeah, I know. But yeah.
If this was Jeopardy, you just lost.
I know. All right. I'm going to have to go with the very conservative bet and take the Chiefs -7. They're playing at home. Mahomes is dialed it in and playing good football. I think that that offense now is strong enough it can overwhelm the Bengals defense. Although I think the Bengals defense is strong. I think what's going to burn me, if anything, is Burrow's just having a Joe Burrow day. And if that happens, I'm thrilled to death because I didn't buy a Chiefs t-shirt. I bought a Bengals t-shirt. So, but I think for making a pick and recommending a pick, I got to say, give up the 7 points and take the Chiefs.
Is that what Bobby told you?
No, I don't talk to Bobby anymore.
Hey, head over now.
I wish I did, but he doesn't because of my relationship with you.
I know.
He wants nothing to do with me.
I know.
And that's fine.
Hey,
that's absolutely fine.
I mean, he was mad because the Bengals beat the Raiders, and he texted me, Dan, that the Bengals got lucky because he lost his bet, and I'm like, all right. And then he starts going off telling me how I'm a spin master and how the officials cost the Raiders the game, and I'm like, dude, after you picked the game wrong, I didn't even say a word. No, it's going to
be a great football game.
Head over now and see for yourself. Betting.net makes it easy to find all the legal online casinos or sportsbook in your area. All right.
Cincinnati, hey, Mike, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
That if I had one of those nice black backdrops like you have, if somebody had sent me one, mine would be up in my office. You know, but some people that get them sent to them choose not to put them up.
Who's that?
Didn't Danny Boy get one?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Dude, see, you're always looking for something.
People.
He's not people yet.
I'm not people. I don't get fun things.
Oh, okay.
I know. That's what your mom always told you, so she didn't have to buy you nothing nice for Christmas. All right. I'm going to take Cincinnati into 7 points. There's a couple reasons here. Number one, I have to because I'm 2 games behind Steve's dumbass. And number two, I think that the Bengals can win this football game. I watched it 27 days ago, and Kansas City's defense doesn't look any better to me. I mean, maybe the moment will catch up to the Bengals, but I don't think that'll happen. If the Chiefs win, it's just going to be because the Chiefs were better that day. I would rather play Kansas City than I would have Buffalo. Josh Allen
Mm.
scares the hell out of me. He's the only quarterback I've seen that you can run a quarterback sweep like it's 7 and under youth football and still gain 10 yards in the NFL. That dude's scary as hell because he's the size of Cam Newton and he runs like Cam Newton, but he throws like, John Elway or Tom Brady or something also. So I'm going to take the Bengals and I'm going to take the points, Dan.
I'm going to take Cincinnati as well. I think ultimately Kansas City does win this game, but are they really going to beat this team by a touchdown plus? They didn't before. They didn't beat Buffalo by that much. They squeaked by because Mahomes is a great and terrible defensive play calling. But nah, I'm not a fan of this line. I think KC wins, but I'm going to take Cincinnati on this -7.
All right, Dan, San Francisco at the Rams. Rams -3.5. This was really tough for me because the Rams have all those studs. But the 49ers play football the way I like to see football played.
I'm gonna pick San Francisco here as well, but I think LA does win. But I don't like the 3.5. I think this could very well be a field goal game, and it wouldn't be a shame if it was. I mean, all the great games we saw last week were field goal games pretty much. So, it's an interesting line.
What is
San
the spread?
Francisco? It's
3.5.
Rams -3.5.
Rams -3.5, and San Francisco has the edge, in my opinion, in the ground game. They have the edge in coaching. Thus far, they've shown this postseason. They have the edge on the pass rush, on the defensive line. They can get to you, and they don't have to blitz. I think that is huge.
I think the Niners have a better O-line, too.
Yeah, the Rams are nicked up on the O-line as well. Even if they were fully healthy, the Rams probably don't have a better offensive line. Trent Williams has been the best offensive lineman in the league all year. McGlinchey and the rest of these guys, they're a good, solid offensive line, good run blocking. They have the better run game, better coaching, better defensive line. There's a lot of better things about San Francisco. But I'm going to take them on the line, but I think LA wins.
So you're taking San Francisco.
I'm taking San Francisco, on the points.
All right, Joseph Michaels picks the Bengals 128, the Chiefs 3. I don't know how. I just don't see the Bengals giving up 3 points. Next up, we got Steve. San Francisco at the Rams.
I'm not
Rams
picking twice in front of you. You make the pick in front of me.
There's 3 of us,
time.
dipshit. I didn't pick last time.
I picked first last time.
Dude,
you pick in front of me. You pick in front of me this time.
That's
we
not
don't
how
pick
this
the game.
works. It's not how this works.
No. You don't get to pick twice in front of me.
Then I won't pick the game.
All right, then that's it. We're done.
Because you don't understand this. There's 3 of us. There has been an order.
Matter.
There's been an order for the
There
last
is a championship on the line here.
You want to be a bitch. You want to be a bitch and pick the same thing I do.
You do not get to pick twice in front of me. Make your pick, Mike.
Do it, Mike. Just satiate him.
No.
All right, well, sign us off.
Okay, neither one of us picked it, so that works out good. If I get that one, I'll only be one back, and Steve will refuse to pick the Super Bowl. I can tell you this. If you look back at last week, we went in a general order that I stayed with this week. And next week, when we pick the Super Bowl, or in 2 weeks, I will actually be picking first. And I could be a game back then, or we could be tied even. So
Dan,
I don't know
all right, hang on here. Well, I'll let Dan break the tie. Dan, without jacking around, do you think it's fair when the 2 of us are within 2 points of each other that he gets to pick behind my pick both times when there's 2 games?
I don't
do
know
you
why
think that's
matters.
A fair move? Should
wait a second. So
one in front of the other. Shut up, Mike.
No, you shut up, you big-headed freak.
You
Listen to me, Dan.
You bald-headed, white freaking gathering.
Yeah, I'm bald-headed because my wife likes bald heads. Both my heads are bald. Shut up,
bro.
You look like Uncle Fester.
You look like
drapes.
You look like a festering wound. My point in this argument, Dan, would be this: if we are legitimately picking who we think is going to win, which is the only way you can have a legitimate contest, this is the only way that you can do it to keep something from like that happening. Plus, I also did go off the same order last week in the way everything was going.
Yeah, I think if you guys are picking who you're going to pick, you're going to pick who you're going to pick regardless of who's picking.
That's not necessarily true.
So wait, Steve, you're telling me if he picks one team, you're going to pick the other out of
No, I'm picking the same team he's picking. That secures the win.
But that makes the contest not legitimate because we're not picking
No, it makes it
games
totally legit. It means that I put myself in a position to be able to do that.
He's trying to
No, because we're trying to see. We're trying to see who can pick the most games right.
Dan, I go back
and then you
again.
end it by quitting and being a bitch and wanting to pick the same thing I got.
Dan, I'll let you be the judge. Is it fair that, given the fact that we're 2-point spread, that he gets to pick both his games after I pick mine?
I'm not going to change my pick because of what you pick, Risley. Go ahead, Dan.
Then go ahead and make your pick.
No, because you will.
I haven't decided who I'm picking yet.
Yeah. You've decided you're picking whatever I pick.
Yeah.
Then so the contest is over anyways. You've quit.
No, I haven't quit. I won.
No, you didn't win because you're afraid to pick.
Dan, make the call.
Oh, on one hand, yes, he is right. It is not fair. However, Mike is right. We'd be breaking precedent if we broke it up at this point. He is right. We do have an order. I have it
went in the same order.
In the order.
Okay, go back and see who made the last pick last week. Because if we got to be following the same pattern, who made the last pick of the last game last
week? We had 4 games.
I want to know who made the last pick of the last game.
What would that matter?
I did.
Well, because then it would go right in order.
Yeah.
The next person would then make the pick. So I probably may not even had to pick first in the first game.
I don't know why it matters who picks first or second.
Yeah, I did.
You know what, Mike? Screw your ass. I'm taking the Rams and giving up 3.5. I'm just going to kick your ass straight up.
Let's go, LA.
I'm taking the 49ers because they're the better team and they're better coached.
Good.
You can have all the talent and the glitz. I'm going with the Niners.
You're taking the Niners?
All right. Rematch. And I can honestly tell you this, Steve. I was picking Cincinnati and San Francisco no matter what you picked.
All right.
Because I don't want to be wrong just to try to win. Dan.
All right.
Wasn't that some cowardly stuff, Dan?
Nah, I like it. Steve's trying to win. I like it. You got to try.
But if you're going to pick games better, though, and it doesn't matter. Wait, Steve's already won. Don't you remember the way the show started off? Everybody, crowning Steve.
Dan, mark that Mike made the last pick. Then who picks after Mike? Dan. So Dan, you'll make the first pick.
And then
you'll pick again. Then I'll have to pick after. So 3 times in a row now, I've had to pick after Mike.
No, because that's not the order we have.
That's called gerrymandering right there.
It will go Dan, it will go me, and it will go you. And then for the Super, because that'll be the Pro Bowl, which we still have to pick. And then the Super Bowl.
Pro Bowl's not in this.
I'll go first. Yes, it is. It's an NFL football game.
That's not even a football game.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
it's the best football game. It's where nobody gets hit. It's like a Colts game against the Lions.
Oh, my team sucks. I hate my team.
It doesn't matter because you could draft a quarterback that would make it totally different a year from now. The only problem is there's only been like 5 quarterbacks like that in the last 30 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, ain't no Joe Burrows coming out this year. Not even close.
Bailey Zappi's coming. You need a quarterback named Joe. Because the way I've always taken this, the way I can tell whether a quarterback's going to be good or not is by his name.
Joe Namath, Joe Flacco, Joe Montana.
Joe Montana, Tom Brady. It's usually 3-letter words, and it's simple. Mitchell Trubisky? Come on, who thought that guy would ever win a Super Bowl? Mitchell Trubisky's led the Bears to the Super Bowl. Nobody even could comprehend that. All right, so, Jimmy Garoppolo?
Jimmy G.
You call him Jimmy G, it sounds all right. Matthew Stafford. So I'd say when you look at that, and you look at the AFC with Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow, probably a better chance that the winner of that game wins the Super Bowl, just because of the name of the quarterbacks.
Now that is analysis that I can get.
Aaron. Aaron's a gay name, and now he's only won 1 Super Bowl in like 18 years. Payton. That's not a bad name. Payton will work, but Brett. Come on, his name was Brett. Why do you expect him to win more than 1 Super Bowl with a name like Brett? Achilles Smith for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh, Achilles Smith.
Yeah, that's going to be a bust.
Kijana Carter, those guys.
Carson Wentz. That means
Carson
when he gets
Palmer?
hit, he goes to throw it. He goes, I know, and they both failed. So now you're starting to get with it. If your name's Joe, John, Tom, Dan, you should have been a quarterback.
I was. I just wasn't any good.
Yeah, Rodgers Staubach. Doesn't that sound like a quarterback?
Roger.
Terry Bradshaw. It sounds like a quarterback.
That's
Milt
Lieutenant
Plum.
Commander Roger Staubach to us.
Hey, and I watched Blazing Saddles again tonight. Have you seen it yet, Dan?
I have not seen it. It's not on anything.
Do you have HBO Max?
I don't.
Well, you should.
Hold on. Let me see what I feel like there we go. Let me see what it's on.
I guarantee Blazing Saddles is funny.
I have Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon Prime.
There you go.
All right. I'm watching it tonight. I'm going to
watch it tonight. You
like
report back. I mean, when you want to do an NFL show again so we can talk about Blazing Saddles.
I'm going to watch it tonight. I'm going to text you at like 1 a.m. how I feel about it.
That's fine. I probably won't be awake if I am.
That's fine.
I'll be busy.
Mike? Mike?
Yeah.
Camptown ladies sing that song. Doo-dah.
Doo-dah.
Camptown ladies, 5 miles long. All the doo-dah day.
Sing the song, Dan. You're supposed to sing the next verse.
Mongo no like donkey.
Oh, yeah, remember? Because Alex Karras is in it, one of the greatest Detroit Lions of all time, and Dan's never heard of him.
Dan's never heard of Alex Karras.
Jeez. That would be like Steve never hearing of like Eric Dickerson or Jim Harbaugh. There's really not some great Colt names to bring up from the 80s, are there?
Mark Herman.
So wait,
I played against Mark Herman, beat him 2 of the 3 years I played against him.
Yeah, but he won a state championship and you lost to Aurora. Go ahead, Dan.
Guys, look, I just want you to know, I wrote down, yes, I wrote because I still have my pen and my pad, and they're not going anywhere.
Did you ever get a laptop so when you covered a St. John's game, you didn't look like a douche?
I did. I got a little thingy, a little tiny.
Would
like
you go to Walmart, buy one of them $69 ones people buy their kids?
Lovano? He got him a Lovano.
Did you get a Lovano?
I don't know what a Lovano is. It sounds like a cologne.
What brand name did you get?
I don't know.
Or does some dude sold it to you out of the trunk of his car?
All right.
Should have been out of the trunk of his car.
We have to move on to bigger things here, Dan.
So
I'm sorry, but we have fans.
Hey, here you go. Joe has watched it before because he said you guys sound like a bunch of Kansas City. Never mind. Disregard. You'll see that at the start of the show when it's a word that you're not allowed to say anymore.
Oh, okay.
You gotta love the reference to Howard Johnson's.
Yeah, the Howard Johnson. We had the guy named Howard Johnson. It's just an awesome. And what the wide world of sports is going on here?
The wide flip. That's
the wide world of sports.
What in the? Yeah.
So
Dan, you're gonna have to shave something. We have fans.
You're
gonna have to shave something.
You gotta shave something.
Shave your eyebrows.
Dan, it's integrity. It's integrity, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, you said you would do it.
You said you would do it.
Yeah. Steve had to sing one time on
there
because he picked the NCAA championship game wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is it. Make no mistake who you are. This is it. The waiting is
that's not what you had to
over.
sing. I don't remember what you had to sing. One shining moment. So Dan, what are you shaving before?
That is one shining
moment.
No,
Dan, Dan, you can't sing. Dan, you have to shave.
Listen, I sing like a combination of Jesus and Fergie. Okay.
I know, but I mean that's because everybody hears you sing and says Jesus. He looks like Fergie. All right, Joe has decided that you can shave next week.
Thank you, Joe.
That's
Joe for
says a lot about your character.
No,
Dan.
wait a second. It does, Dan. It shows a lot about your character. It shows a lot about your Joe's because Joe feels sorry for you, and instead of demanding this happen, he's going to let you wait a week. But this means there's no excuses. You should have everything ready and be ready.
Boy, I tell you what,
Joe,
integrity is something you work your entire life to get.
How about this? Let's fly Joe to New York or New Jersey or wherever this moron lives and have Joe shave him on air.
What are you calling Joe a moron for?
No, I said this moron. I was talking about
okay. All right.
I love Joe. He played football.
Dan, it's an integrity thing, Dan. I'm going to tell you. That's really, you called it.
Sad.
You called your shot, and you pointed your beard out there.
I want to just say for the record, I believe it was said in jest, but
I don't think it was because I
didn't
remember
take it in
repeatedly
jest.
asking. Didn't I repeatedly ask you, like, sure, I'll do that? And it sounded like you wanted to because then you picked the Bengals anyways.
I mean,
all right. So you're saying you are not.
Joe
you're
can't
not
come to
gonna
Jersey. Joe's busy, so
I don't
you'll have
blame
to shave
Joe.
it
I don't blame
yourself.
Joe.
Right
so wait,
now.
so guys, quick question: Sean Payton retired.
No.
Wait
Let's
a
put this
second.
one to bed first.
Hey,
Are you gonna give up your integrity with me? And it says a lot to me.
About not shaving my beard?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to revisit the tape and get back to you.
hold
Let's see
on,
exactly
I can pull
what
it
was
up real
said.
quick.
No tomfoolery.
Right, and Sean Payton, if you read my article a week ago, I predicted a week ago that he would retire and end up in the booth. But
Do you think
obviously don't read my
he's
article.
retiring?
He'll
just
end
for
up
a
there
year?
for a short period of time, and he'll be coaching somebody else.
I think he'll probably
All
coach
right.
again someday. He's not that old yet, but I think.
No, I
you're gonna
hope
see
he
him
comes back to Indiana and coaches. He's from Indiana. Coach the
Oh.
Colts.
I think that you will see him in the booth.
Yeah, for a few years.
Yeah.
And then I think in 3 or 4 years, a guy like him will get restless being there, and he'll want to get back in the game.
And let's face it, New Orleans is not as good a job when you lose your Hall of Fame quarterback.
No, it's not.
And he damn
Not
near
a
made the
great city to
playoffs
live
with him.
in either.
No, man.
New Orleans?
I don't think it's a great city. I've been there multiple times. It's not a great city.
Oh, that's mean.
Well,
What's
it's not. I mean, it's,
What, Dan?
What do you guys think about the whole overtime rules conversation?
I think
We
gotta
had
leave it
that
the way it
discussion.
is. He wasn't on
Leave
the
it-
show.
leave
so
it
he didn't
alone.
know.
There's nothing
Leave it
wrong with it.
alone. What would you do to fix it? Because everything I've seen to
Yeah.
fix it would make it worse.
There's no way to fix it.
The only I said this the other day to a couple of my buddies. The only thing I could see if they were going to change it, I don't think they should. I think if you're in overtime, get a stop. Get a stop. Force them to a field goal. Do your job. Just
Right.
be better. It's football. Why does everyone need to have? Everyone should have a chance. It should be equal. No.
Yeah, this is
professional
America.
sport.
Not everybody has a chance. The people that do have a
Yeah.
chance will give money to the people that don't just to shut them up, though.
I do not know of a viable solution that would make it any more fair than a 50-50 chance at getting the ball and then have to take it down and score with it. And that doesn't happen very often in the NFL.
Well, it kind of does.
I'd like to see the percentage of times you win the coin toss and go score on the touchdown.
In the
opening
playoffs,
drive.
since they've done this, it's been like 80% of the time, I think.
I was gonna say, yeah, when you win the
It's
coin
happened a
flip,
lot.
you win the game.
But still,
I don't think I would question it being that high, but I do not know.
you
'cause I've not
can't question
studied
it because I saw the tweet from Adam Schefter or whoever that moron.
He said
is.
80% of the time they go ahead and
Yeah.
score a touchdown.
Yeah.
All right,
Right.
well,
But yeah, I don't.
it's
think
an
that's a good
offensive-minded
use.
league, so be it. Win the coin toss.
Or play defense.
Or play
that's-
defense,
you
yeah.
Still play defense. Hell, if I was Buffalo, I would have onside kicked.
Now that's a whole nother conversation.
Because then you may change the way they call their plays, and maybe they just kick a field goal in the end. But, I mean, Leslie Frazier playing a soft cover 2 is not going to beat them anyways.
And now
Actually,
Hold on.
Joseph's
Here's-
got,
Here,
Joseph's got the probably best solution.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
No,
Why
no,
can't
I'm
they
saying
just play what do you do
for
with the
league
full...
championship games or playoff games, just play an extra quarter.
You can't. I mean, number one, both of those teams' defenses were dragging ass by then. What happens if you're still tied after the full extra quarter? Do you play another full extra quarter? Now, as a Bengal fan, I'd love to see those guys play till about Thursday, but I just think
Mike,
it's too much.
what about this? In playoffs, I think as a general rule, leave it alone. But in playoff situations, go one extra quarter, and then if you haven't scored by then, do what college does. Put the ball on 25-yard line and get it in. Each team gets a shot.
It's not what college does anymore. They put it on the 25-yard line like once, and then everything else, they go for 2-point conversions, and it's the dumbest damn rule in the history of the world.
Everything's modifiable. But anyway, I say
Well,
overall,
Hey,
Don't
how
touch
about
it.
this,
Leave it
Steve?
alone.
If you let the Bills and the Chiefs and the Bengals and the Rams and the 49ers start at the 25, you're just going to score touchdown after touchdown, and the game's going to go on
They would have
forever.
last weekend, that's for sure.
Well, they would on any weekend.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
they're
agree.
NFL football teams. It's not
Not
college.
not not if Wentz is playing.
Well, yeah, because they'll just hand it to Jonathan Taylor 5 times
Yeah, I
and get
guess.
25
Yeah.
yards. Go ahead, Dan. Anything else?
Yeah. I was gonna say at least I think I have a solution for this. If they were really going to give both teams a shot, what they should do is, and I like this. This is the only thing I like that I would take from the college example is if you score a touchdown, you have to go for two. If both teams score the touchdown and both teams get the 2-point conversion, then it's sudden death. Next score wins. If a team scores, the first team scores, and they don't get the two, the other team scores, they get the two.
All right.
Obviously,
Do
it's game
you
over.
want to know my best solution to this, which I think would be the most exciting too? I think what you should do is pick like the toughest guy on each team,
Here we go.
and they go out to midfield. They take their shirts off and their shoulder pads, and they fist fight. Whoever wins, the team wins the game.
Mandingo fighting?
Now it's like Aaron Donald in a fist fight with, I don't know, the
Trent
toughest guy in the
Williams.
Buffalo. Yeah, I mean that would be must see TV. And if you get your ass kicked, you really don't have a reason to bitch anymore.
Is there no one else? Something special. Gladiators out there.
Let the kickers shoot it out starting at 30. I would be all for that, especially starting this weekend.
Yeah,
No,
just put them go 5 yards back each time. Let the kickers kick.
Yeah, because we got shooter, so we would win every game that goes to overtime.
So my final question for this is: we saw Brady and Rodgers; they both lost. Two legends, the GOAT, Hall of Famer, and
The
Rodgers.
GOAT and then Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. What's next? Are these guys retiring? Is one retiring? The other one going to another team?
I
Are
think
they both
there's a
coming
better
back?
chance. I think there's a better chance that Brady retires. And I mean, he's got a podcast where he brought up on there that sometimes you have to put your family first, and there comes a time where you have to. I think that's a little veiled. We might get one more year out of him. Aaron Rodgers, I don't really care. The guy's an asshole. Steve, what's your opinion?
I would duplicate yours.
Okay, because to me, Aaron Rodgers.
I would love to see
unlikable
Brady
douche.
win another Super Bowl and then walk off the field. That'd be the ultimate way for him to walk off. But he is right. He's 44, going to be 45 next year. And he's got a beautiful wife, great kids, and more money than guys. She's a billionaire. She's worth a lot more money than he is.
Mm-hmm.
And, what else has he got to prove?
He can go sit in a studio or in a booth and make $5 and $10 million a year too.
Yeah. He doesn't even need the money.
And he don't need to get hit anymore. And
No,
let's
he
face
doesn't.
it, Steve will tell you, once you get older and it goes, it doesn't come back.
It does not come back.
Okay, Joe says Aaron Rodgers is going to Pittsburgh. He's not. Because
Well,
that's
that's short for Indianapolis.
it's short for Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Oh.
Okay. Oh, you're not a real Bengal fan. You just bought the shirt. So, I would say this. It's highly unlikely that the Pittsburgh Steelers would make a move like that. They're a mom and pop shop. They usually don't do much in free agency. You had to make a Fitzpatrick thing a couple of years ago. It was about the only time I could think of them doing something like that. I highly doubt he goes to Pittsburgh. And if he goes to Pittsburgh, I mean, that's not really a team that's ready to win a championship. I mean, you've got Najee Harris, but you got a horrible offensive line. You got a few receivers that drop the ball a lot. The defense is still good. But, I mean, when you look at the Kansas Cities, the Buffaloes, the Cincinnatis, I don't know that Pittsburgh – I mean, if it's me, I stay in the NFC, Dan.
I agree. I don't see any reason to go to the AFC. I like the idea of Rodgers going to Denver.
San Francisco.
Denver's a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl contender, potentially, with the right coach. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I stay in the NFC. The NFC is winnable. The AFC's got too many gunslingers. You got the top 3 quarterbacks in the league over there.
Yeah, every championship game in the AFC should include either the Bengals, Chiefs, or Bills over the next decade, probably. And we will probably see multiple matchups. And That's what blows me away about everybody saying Allen and Mahomes are the next Brady and Manning. The issue here is there's three guys. Now you got Brady, Manning, and Montana, if you know what I mean.
I hate that comparison that they're the new Brady and Manning because Brady was Manning's dad. Okay, the Colts always had struggles with the Patriots.
Really?
Almost always.
I thought Archie was Tom Brady or was Peyton's dad.
Not come playoff time.
Yeah, there was a few people that were Peyton. Drew Brees was Peyton's dad in Super Bowls too.
Like I love Peyton Manning. I love Peyton. He was my favorite quarterback back then when I was in high school and college. I defended Peyton. I was calling Peyton the GOAT before Tom Brady started winning, all these chips and just doing goaty things in his old age.
Goaty things?
Goaty things.
Hey, how about this question from Hank? Who has a higher ceiling, Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes? My opinion on this, Dan, is Mahomes is Mahomes. And I really think Josh Allen, both of these guys, I think, are getting to where they're maybe the best they're going to be, which is not a bad thing because they're both Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And, the higher ceiling, Allen's been in the league, 4 or 5 years? So is Mahomes.
Mahomes has been in since, 2017?
Yeah.
His rookie year was 2017?
Yeah, and Allen was 2017, 2018, wasn't he? Right around there?
Something like that.
So I think right now, I don't think when you get guys that have been in the league for 5 years, you ask who's got the higher ceiling. It's just which one's better now. And, you could make the case for either one. But to Josh Allen being, 6'4", 240 pounds and being able to run like a damn deer, and he can throw the hell out of the ball also. I would hate to see what Josh Allen could do with the talent on Kansas City's offense around him or Cincinnati's offense around him. I think Josh Allen is that good.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with Josh Allen as well. These guys have maybe the two strongest arms in the league. But beyond that, like Mike, like you said earlier, Allen is what Cam Newton wishes he could have been. He has all the athleticism Newton has. He's got the size. He's got the arm, but he's more accurate. He's smarter. He's gotten better. And he's better now than Cam Newton ever was. And Cam Newton won an MVP and made it to a Super Bowl. So I'm gonna go with Josh Allen, but this is like splitting hairs. This is like saying 10 years ago you rather have Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or something.
Well, how
like
about
that.
this? This is something that got brought up here real quick, and that is there's another Manning Brady couldn't beat. So actually, in this whole Alabama scenario, Eli Manning is Tom Brady's dad, and Tom Brady is Peyton Manning's dad. That's really something to think about.
Eli Manning and those Giants teams
I think we're losing Steve. I think he's dozing off. So what do you think the comparison between Allen and Mahomes, Steve?
So I think you guys have nailed it. I think that in the long run, Allen probably has greater potential.
All right, Joe says that Josh Allen reminds him of a young Joe Spillman, which is actually Joe's name. And I can tell you from seeing Joe throw a football, Joe's drinking right now, just like Dan.
All right. Yeah, and I've got a few more questions, but we'll save that for another show.
Oh,
I think
good. Because next week will be a little light because we'll just have the two games to talk about. We'll have to come up with stuff anyway. So, all right. Anything before we wrap it up, Steve?
Nope.
Dan?
Let's go Chiefs. Let's go Rams. For the love of God, anyone but Jimmy G in the Super Bowl, please. I don't want to see it. I'm already
such a sad little guy. He's already been to the Super Bowl. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Remember, you can follow Dan at
DB Talking Sports.
Does that mean douchebags talking sports?
Pretty much.
Okay. You can follow Steve Risley at SRisley34. You can hear me and Steve on the Indiana Basketball Show tomorrow at 1 o'clock on the Grueling Truth Sports Network. You can follow me at Grueling Truth. So, guys, for now, we're going to wrap it up. For Dan Kornhauser, Steve Risley, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.